Hello and welcome to this map review of the Yogiland 19.2 update English version. So I've switched my game from German to English, so everything should look fine. As you know, the first update after an initial release usually takes care about all the bugs which have to be fixed. Thanks God there were not too many to be fixed, but nevertheless I want to show you them. And we're here right at the farm storage, the big one, and for some reason there have been no particles for liquid manure. So you could load them, but nothing was showing up. So let's load some slurry. And there you see, now it's showing up and it goes all the way down to the bottom. This is something I had to fix on some other production sites. I remember the brewery, for example, so that when you load something, this will go all the way down to the bottom. And now we have a liquid manure or slurry to show up here as well. So second thing here at the storage was you could not fill sprayers with herbicide. You could um, load them at the production site, for example, but not here at the farm storage. So I had to change or update the trigger. Now let's load some herbicide. Where it is? There. The pink poison now is working. And that's the same not only here at the farm storage, but also with the 4 railway station storages. Same problem. Now trigger updated, and you can also load sprayers over there. So while we're here at the farm storage, there is something I want to show you. When you go to the shop and you start your landscaping, there was a problem that with the grass, you could paint the bottom green, but no grass growing. So let's see what's happening now. And on the right lower corner, you can tap through those different ground types. And this one is grass. So now you can paint grass. Let's take a look. And I did it this way that this is now grass fully grown. So you could, for example, harvest it right away with the M 400. Was it 400? Wait. Shop movers M 450. Yeah, okay, 450. So you could just well start collecting grass, for example. And of course, if you want to delete it, same thing. Start the landscaping. Choose another ground texture and ready and gone. So now the hand tool with the grass should work, I hope. Talking about grass, there were some holes in the grass around the fields. You know, on this map, there is grass everywhere. All the free places around the fields and everywhere there is grass. And well, there were some little pixels missing with no grass growing. So I hope that I've catched everything. It was half a dozen or so spots where now there is also grass on the map. All right. There was, let's jump to the vehicle shop. There were some textures flickering. For example, this vehicle shop, the floor of the vehicle shop here, as you can see, that was too close to the ground, and that's why this floor was flickering. Same thing happened to some unloading places on the railway tracks. Or, for example, there was a sign on the cigarette factory, which was also flickering. So I hope that I catched all these things and fixed them as well. All right, let's jump into my little XUV. Where it is. There it is. Okay, so where are we now? Let's switch on the map. We're between field 1 and 4 on the upper western corner. There is a railway crossing, and I forgot to delete the collision of the tracks. So now there are no more collisions. And I've added another railway crossing here, which is between the big field number 17 and the railway station east. Why? Because when you harvest something from field 17, you probably would like to use the railway station storage and then transport it to another place using the trains. And that's why we thought it was a good idea to have another railway crossing down here to have better access, so to say, to this storage here. Talking about collisions, take a look. Now I deleted the collisions of all 4 deco trains. We have 3 deco trains running here in the southern part of the map. There is another one coming, I guess. And then we have the tram running around the farm area, the little blue one. All 4 now have no more collisions. Okay? But remember, the normal trains, we have 4 normal trains on this map, they do have collisions. And they need to have a collision, otherwise they could not transport anything, or otherwise the triggers would not react to load and unload for that to those normal trains. So take care, don't get in touch with them. So that was collision of railroad and so on. Now, then there have been some naming errors. For example, let's jump to the pig food production. No, that is the wrong one. Where is pig food? Here. Pig food now is named pig feed, not food, feed, which is the proper term, I guess. And also on the um, sale list here, you now have proper English terms. I simply forgot to rename the German ones. So now it says, for example, church and not Kirche. Now it says heating plant and not Heizkraftwerk. So all these terms now are also in English. Hope I've catched all of them. Pig feed, yeah, okay. So next one. Let's talk about the gold mine. Here's the gold mine, and for example, here at the gold smelt, there was this ground texture, these yellow ground textures missing here in front of it. So there now we have them, and let's load some gold. Yeah, I prepared that. Safe game, I have to confess. Right, so I raised the weight of the gold because you know gold is really heavy. Huh? If you haven't had the chance to lift some gold bars in the past, but you probably know that gold is much heavier than anything else. And that is why I doubled the weight of gold. Which means that if you want to transport gold out of the mine area to a selling place, um, it's not a good idea to have, like this example, 100,000 liters of gold, because now it's not 100 tons, it is 200 tons. And you will find out that even this truck with nearly 700 horsepower will not make it. It will not make it. It is simply too heavy. Uh, you see it? No more grip. Famous last words, Ayrton Senna. Um, and I guess this is much more realistic this way. So you probably should transport 20, 30, 40,000 liters, and then you can make it out of the quarry, out of the mine area. But now gold is really heavy. So talking about the mine area, I changed a lot of particle systems, because here with the ore you saw almost nothing. Now we really have some big stones, and this is the way it should be, I guess. Now you really see the stones there into the shaker. And also the gold ore which this shaker produces looks a bit different now. Let's have a look. Oops. Gold ore. And let's bring it to the gold smelt. And have a look. So now you already see the little nuggets inside there, because the gold ore has a much higher percentage of gold inside the material, of course. So also change a lot of other particle. I change almost every particle system. For example, here we have now tomatoes, and they really now look like big juicy tomatoes. Or another example, here we have a cake. See, now there is coming out something which looks probably much like um, the fill plane looks. So almost all these particle systems which you see while unloading something uh, have been updated or have been changed. Hope you like it. So that was the gold, and now let's move to the animal pen area. Here we are. For some weird reason, I forgot to put lights on the horse stable and the other buildings around. Now you see that there are these floodlights also here at the horse stable and the other buildings around, and also at the production sites where we make the forage and the hay or the silage, and light now everywhere. I guess now we have enough light. And while we're here at the animal pen area, talking about the manure heaps, I changed the manure heaps. I made them a little bit smaller because they were the size of that area was too big, so that the manure was coming through the walls. Now I've changed this area where the manure heap will build up, and I hope that now it will not come through the walls. Okay, so that was the area of the animal pen area. Talking about some other minor fixtures. Field number 8 is one of your 3 starting fields, and that had barley harvest ready on it. And now, let's have a look. Now we have corn on it, harvest ready. Field 8, was it 8? No, sorry, 12 is empty at the start, and 21 got sunflowers. That had not changed. So here is corn now. And then I changed the tobacco texture because um, the last stage before being harvest ready, there was not a big change between the fruit textures. Now also the tobacco plants will turn much more yellow or brown, and now you can see much more easy that the tobacco plants, uh, the tobacco fruits are now also harvest ready. So this has been changed. There was a problem with the unloading particles of the incense factory. That has been changed. I fixed or yeah, fixed the PDA map, which you can see here, so that now all the fields will be covered um, with the graphics. And now this is a little bit, I had to center it a little bit more. I had to fix some borders of the fields. This has been also done. And at the greenhouse, let's jump to the greenhouse. There is the greenhouse, glass house, whatever house. Oh, where we are here. Greenhouse, not glass house. Aha, something else I need to fix. The glass house. The ground texture now is the brown ground texture and not these concrete plates. Yeah? This has been also changed, and there have been also some new things added. Number one, now you can buy the streets. If you click on the streets, you see that all the streets, including some places like here at the vehicle shop and down here at the harbor area, or here or up here at the sawmill, all this is now one piece of land. So you can buy the streets at 319,000 euros, which is only 10% of the normal square meter price. And you can just buy it. Why? Two reasons. First of all, I like to use this mover, this M450, to move grass. And when you come to the end of a field, entering a street, the swat, you can't pick up the swat which is then on the street. There are always 1 or 2 meters lying on the street, and you can't pick it up simply because you need to own the land to pick up something. And so after some days, I had little spots of grass lying around everywhere, and now we can pick them up. And the second reason is the seasons mod. You know, when it is winter in the seasons mod, you have to take care about all the snow. And to spray salt and to move the snow, you also need to own the land, which means you need to own the streets. So I hope that for those of you who like to use and play the Seasons mod, this is now helpful. All right. So next thing, we have a new fruit, and it is beans. Here you see the beans hanging there, and beans is a new fruit. And we'll start our little worker or helper, and you can see harvesting beans. So beans, for beans you need to use the maize header. This is how you can harvest beans, same way like with corn or tobacco or hops. Also now the maize header, right? So beans, and those beans look like this. Here we have a here we have 100,000 liters of beans. And what we also have, we have two new selling places. The first one is here right on the farm, and it's a farm shop where you can sell your products to the public, and that's why also beans. Now let's have a look. How do beans look? Here you see the particles of those beans falling out of it. This is the new fruit, beans. And we have a second new selling place, which is called McNugget. Whoa, no burgers there. McNugget is this one, very specialized little shop, and it only buys gold. And that's why I prepared here 100,000 liters of gold. And well, this is here at the end of the world. Let's take a look on the map. No, not this one, this one. Here you can see it's behind the surf shop in the southern west southern area. So you need to drive a long way to sell your gold, but the good news is that the price for gold at McNuggets is always a little bit higher than everywhere else. I hope so. Let's take a look. Yeah, 16,157. So you know we always have this range, this price range. Um, but at McNuggets, the price should be a little bit higher than anywhere else. So it makes sense to bring your gold over here, and here you see the gold bars now. Also a new particle system dropping out while unloading. McNuggets, good prices for gold. So that's it, folks. All the changes of the 19.2 update of the Yogiland map English version. I hope you enjoy Farming Simulator. If you find any errors, any problems, please join my Discord to report them. I hope to catch you soon. Bye for now. Yogi.